What's up, everybody, and welcome to the show. Today is Friday, and I'm turn this down a little. And I don't know how this sounds. I don't know. I hope it sounds all right. I turned the air conditioner on because I was dying in here, so I apologize for that if it makes too much noise. I still have not got insulation in here yet, so that's the noise you're hearing in the background. And if you're thinking that's a little bit annoying, I'll try to do better in the future by getting some insulation. That's the idea. That's the plan. So anyways, let me pull this up here real quick. This is Conradio. I am Conrad. It's good to have you guys here. Thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Thank you for downloading and listening. If you just like listening and you don't like looking at my big water head, I don't mind that. In fact, I prefer it. So make sure you check it out on iTunes or on Spotify, I guess Apple Podcasts, and leave a review. Leave a rating and a review, much like a KFC restaurant. Is this finger looking good? Is this finger licking good, or is this finger looking good? Either way, let them know and let me know. And that's what we're going to do together. We're going to grow this show. So thank you guys. Well, one thing you guys got to understand is, sometimes when you're married, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful relationship between your wife and yourself. And if you have a family with that woman, God bless you. That's beautiful. But sometimes your wife will say things and, it just makes you kind of scratch your head. And my wife did that to me the other day. I will preface this story with the fact that she was given CBD drugs by a friend of hers. Okay, these are legal CBD drugs, and I will tell you that you need to be careful with your legal CBD drugs because even though you can buy them from a website or on the street corners from some sort of gypsy that also enjoys CBDs, you have to understand that these things are dangerous and they can make you think weird, and that's what these did to my wife and I. And so she measured out the correct amount for us and she handed them over, and we chewed them up together and we gave each other a kiss, and we did that thing. Sometimes when people smoke marijuana, you'll see the part where somebody will inhale marijuana, and then when they exhale, they'll exhale it into their partner's mouth. I'm sure that there's a urban dictionary saying for that, but we take edible CBDs sometimes, my wife and I, and so what we'll do is chew up a little bit of it and just spit it in each other's mouth. And it's kind of a real sexy thing to do together. But they enhanced our experience together, and it made me think about a bunch of different things. And one of them was, once the effect of these CBDs kicked in, there was a moment when I was looking into the kitchen where my wife was still sitting. It's probably been about an hour that she'd been sitting in there. She didn't know that. Time kind of just flew by. And it was just her and I at the house, so it's okay. But, she was just sitting there eating a big old pile of French fries, one French fry at a time. And cutest thing you ever see, And I looked at the pile and I kind of was making note of how long it took her just to do one fry. And I realized she might be there all night. And she was there for a significant amount of time. But when she got up, she wandered past me in the living room and said, "I'm going to go take a shower now." And I thought, that's a good idea. You should do that. And she said, I'm going to go take a shower now, but I'm not going to wash my hair. And in my mind, I mean, that's fine. And I know that women don't do that and they'll give you a whole bunch of reasons why they don't do that every day. They'll say things like, I don't wash my hair because I don't want any, it gets too wavy, or I got to put stuff in it, or I don't have the right stuff to put in it after, whatever it is, So I don't say anything usually, but telling somebody that I wouldn't know. That's why I don't understand sometimes why she says the things that she says to me, because had she not said them, I would have never known. She could have got out of the shower and snuggled up next to me, and unless her hair smelled as if, she had dumped it into like a bowl of water that was filled with a dead raccoon or something, it's going to smell pretty good. Even if it's got a little bit of woman on it, that's okay. It's probably got a little bit of woman mixed in there. That's all right. But instead now, it's like me walking by and saying, babe, I'm going to go take a shit, but I'm not going to wipe, and if I get away with it, every once in a while I might get away with a non-wiper. Not often, but every once in a while I might. You know what I mean? And instead of putting that in somebody's head, if I go a perfect number 2 and I don't feel like, and I did wipe, but it really wasn't necessary, I don't have to tell anybody that. Because the moment you say it, now it's like, what? Yeah. What are you talking about? And there's a little bit of a ticking sometimes. I think it's the air conditioner. Could be the cable. I don't know. And I don't even know if it comes across. Could be the headphones. So I got a whole new kind of thing going on here. So anyways, she did not wash her hair. But she didn't have to tell me. That's the part I'm trying to show her. Like, you don't have to tell me that stuff. I would, I'm happy with the fact that you're just trying to take care of your body hygienically. And I would have just assumed you washed your hair. And even if you didn't, I would have thought it doesn't matter because it smells fine. But now I'm judgy. Now I'm like, she gets out and I notice your hair's not as vibrant. Oh, because you didn't wash it, stuff like that. And I don't blame her, though. She had just gotten that speeding ticket, and a lot of times women, when they get a speeding ticket, they will not wash their hair. So that's that's where she's at right now. But being married is a strange thing, and we're coming up on, I just found out from her that we're coming up on 13 years of marriage. And that's a lot of time with one person. That's a lot of time with one person. So, and I'm proud of that time. But you get in these things as you get older and as you have been married for so long. And I don't know if everybody does it. I would say it's probably more tailored to the traditional couples where, it starts out where everything is new, when you get married. So especially when you're young, you don't have a lot of stuff in the bedroom. You don't have a lot of extra stuff. You just have, she's got her body and you got yours. But as you stay married for even longer, parties happen, things happen, situations happen, and all of a sudden, a married couple will have a drawer filled with different kinds of goodies for enhancement of a bedroom situation. You know what I mean? But the hard thing is that most of these things are usually for the woman in the situation. You know what I mean? There's different kinds of gels and wands and things that women will have access to that are for their bodies. And they'll try to say, oh, we can use it on you, but it's not for you. And that's okay. But it can put yourself, you got to be careful because it can put yourself in a kind of an embarrassing moment. Even if you've been, you've watched this woman have children. You've watched her, you've watched her grow with you for 13 or 15, depending on how long you were dating, years. That's the majority of your life has been with this person, so you should never be embarrassed. But, you got to be careful, because there could be a time when you don't know what you're doing with this arrangement of goodies and this little pocket of pleasure, this little bag of pleasure that you're supposed to be using on this person, and you don't know what you're doing. And the hard part is you don't have an answer. And what I mean is, say that there's a feather inside one of these bags. If there's a feather inside one of these bags, and maybe she's in a position where you're looking at her from a different angle. Instead of looking at her face like you're normally looking at, you're looking at her butt. You know what I mean? And you're holding the feather. Now, you got to be careful, because you run the risk of every once in a while her turning around and saying, "What are you doing?" And the hard part about that is the only answer you can give is exactly what you're doing. And so if you're tickling somebody's butthole with a feather, that's what you have to say. That can be embarrassing. You can say that, but it's embarrassing, because you thought that they would know. So they'll turn around, "What are you doing?" And the only thing you say is, "I was tickling your butthole with this feather." Is that not good? I mean, what the hell do you want me to do with this feather? It was in the bag of things that are fun things. This is a fun bag, I thought. So I'll just do the fun. What part you don't want me to put on your feet? That's too much. I don't know. So you just try things, is what I'm saying. And that's marriage, dude. That's what marriage is. Another thing that I was thinking about, kind of along those lines, but kind of not really, is I guess the Supreme Court today is swearing in Kamaji Brown, who, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, will be the best Supreme Court Street Fighter we have. I think it was actually the Street Fighter's name from the original Street Fighter. I think Kamaji Brown did a special kick. Like, if you press back, forward, Kamaji would do a spin and then kick. And I don't know. We should pull up. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I have internet. I'll see. Let's just pull this up and see. Supreme. So, I don't care. How do we search here? There we go. Supreme. I know Clarence Thomas was the original Street Fighter. Supreme Court Justices. Let's rank these guys, dude. Alright, dude, we got John G. Roberts. Let's rank them as far as, forget about their conservatives and their decisions and their whatever. We gotta rank these guys as far as, I don't know if any other country has a Supreme Court, but if they did, what do our guys got compared to any other country? What do we got anyways? Who are you picking to fight for you, dude? Because they're current members. All right. We got John G. Roberts, dude, and he was born in 1955. So he's an older cat, but that's okay, because if you listen to the last show, you can cut this dude. He doesn't even know he's bleeding. And I got a feeling a lot of these dudes are going to be older cats. All right? So, got a law clerk. All these guys are just going to have different, they're going to have Harvard in their background. They're going to have worked for different presidents as attorney generals and departments of justices. Basically, all these idiots have been mouthpieces for government agencies their whole existence. You know, they've never probably worked real jobs. They don't understand it, yet they make decisions. For those of us who do work in the real world, they're in bubble world. So I'm going to treat them as such, and if they're going to be just video game characters for us anyways, where they don't represent any of the ideals that we as a nation have, which it seems like they don't, and even if they do, it's only for half the nation or whatever. So screw it, let's treat them like video game characters, and let's judge these people based on their athletic prowess in a game called Street Fighter. Right now, Kamaji Brown is number one, I think, but I have not looked through the rest of the cast. John G. Roberts, Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, okay? Born in Buffalo, that gives him a little street cred, because that's upstate New York, okay? Clarence Thomas, Associate Justice, dude. He was born in Georgia in 48, went to the seminary, so he's, I'm assuming, Catholic, went to Yale Law School. Then again, just different. But he's got a little bit of that, and I might mix games here, but he's got a little bit of that Mortal Kombat Jax look to him. I think he's got a big upper body. I think that if you're going into a fight with Clarence Thomas and you're thinking that you're going to go toe-to-toe with him, you better back up, buddy, because this guy's he'll throw with the hips, is what I'm saying. He will throw with the hips. I'm hoping that sound is my headphones not coming across, so we'll see. Samuel Alito, dude. So we got a little bit of this. Alito sounds maybe, what is that? Italian? So he's going to have quick hands and quick feet. All right? And he looks flexible, dude. He looks flexible in the robe. So I'm going to put him as, you might use him in a tag team match if there's a tag team opportunity. I think that if you matched him up with a Clarence Thomas, you could definitely do some damage. You could have this guy kind of be like a backpack person. You know, one of those people that you would drape across your back. Below him, you got Sonia Sotomayor. She, Bronx, New York. She's going to have some baggage there, dude. A little bit of rough times. Princeton lady, Yale Law School also. Did some stuff in commercial matters in New York, and you know, she was an associate partner. She worked, George Bush nominated her to the district court. She served in that role, and Barack Obama got her into the Supreme Court, you know, I mean, 2009. And so she's been rocking that position for about 13 years now, you know. But she's got a great smile, and guess what? There was a Sonya already in Street Fighter, so clearly this girl's got some street cred. Elena Kagan, dude. Elena Kagan is the Kathy Bates of our Supreme Court. You don't mess with her. She's got a sharp wit, quick-witted tongue, okay? One you don't hear a lot is Neil Gershuk from Denver, dude. This Neil fella, he looks like a Peter Puffer. Let's just move on from him. Brett Kavanaugh, greatest southpaw we've ever had at the Supreme Court. This dude will fight southpaw, okay? And he's a drunk. And we all know that. We get this dude wasted. You know, you get this guy hammered drunk on a couple of Cayman Jacks, and he's going to go nuts, dude. He'll rip his shirt off. We got a real American Hulk Hogan here, okay? I'm liking that. Amy Coney Barrett, named after the Coney dog. She's one of the newest members. She got inaugurated October 2020, so right there in the heart of COVID. Did not die of it, and has got inaugurated into the Supreme Court. I think unfortunately, she might be the dime piece of the Supreme Court. And she got the crazy eyes, though. She got the crazy eyes. She might use the eyes, laser eyes. I think maybe she got laser eye vision. I don't know. That could be her superpower. And then, of course, we got Ketanji Brown, dude. Ketanji Brown Jackson. And, yeah, she's going to be our GOAT as far as leg sweeps, flying spin kicks, anything like that. We got Ketanji. So I think what I do is, if I'm trying to beat the game, I'm getting Ketanji. I can run through Amy. That's an easy matchup. Brett Kavanaugh that could be a tough matchup because he's so damn drunk. Neil, no, Peter Puffer. Elena Kagan might be our first real matchup there. Sonia Sotomayor, I don't think that would cause any problems. Alito won't. Clarence Thomas if you stay away from him, get out of his reach, you're going to be fine. And then John G. Roberts, nah, he doesn't offer anything, you know. So that's who we got, dude. What do you got? You're up, you know, Uruguay. Like, what do you got? That's our freaking Supreme Court street fighters right there. And they're pissing a lot of people off. I know that. God, they're making some people mad out there. Because recently they just made a decision about something to do with abortion with Roe versus Wade. And I don't know anything about it. I'm not a woman. I can never have an abortion, personally. You know, and I've got 2 kids, and I wanted both of them. And I don't know anything about it. You know what I mean? I don't know what all the people that it go through. So I know that sometimes it's strange to me that the people that are so against it are usually always going to be against it. You know what I'm saying? And so what I don't understand is, if you just stay the course and you're always against abortion, and when you know you have pregnancies and you have children and you raise them in that way and they're against it and all that stuff, and then the other side is so for it, I think it kind of just evens out in the end, you know? I mean, it seems like at these rallies first of all, we need to do this. Without a doubt, you need to understand that the best looking rally is the pro-lifers. At least the ones that you would want to, you're going to walk, compare it to this. Going to a pro-life rally is like going to Target. Going to pro-choice rally is like going to Walmart, okay? And regardless of message, I don't care about the message, but the people, you're going to see a lot of half-shaven heads, a lot of people holding up signs that clearly don't make any sense, and that's going to be at pro-choice, okay? It's going to be like Catholics for abortion. That doesn't exist, dog. I mean, sorry, you can't just be Christian and be for, maybe, and even that's tough. Just be for abortion. That's okay. But don't try to drag a whole history of a religion into your side that doesn't exist, man. But the other side, they're crazy. They got the Sarah Palin eyes. They got the, you know, the people I was talking about that just the Amy Barrett eyes. These dead stares, dude. They look like me when I have my eye problem, or still do. You know, so there's psychos too on both sides of this thing. But the better looking ones, the more I think you're going to want to hang out in the pro-life rally, even if you don't believe it. I mean, just judging by body odor. Just judging by body odor. It's going to be a better experience. But what I'm saying is, it seems that there's a group of people, at least that the media or the masses would want you to believe, that there's a group of people that on their side of this aisle is, you know, same-sex marriage, identity, basically identity crises that are accepted. You know, I feel like I'm this, or I want to be accepted as this, and which is fine. You know what I mean? But this is all on the same side. A lot of men that want to be pregnant. It's like, you can't be, but they can have kids, you know, whatever. And I don't mind any of it. The issue is, I think that what it is when pro-life justices and pro-life lawmakers do this kind of stuff, it almost pisses off the other side so much that people that weren't going to get abortions now go get them. You know what I mean? People that weren't going to, and you say, well, no, they made it illegal. No, they made it illegal federally, but they left it legal for different states, and now companies are jumping on board, you know, to be like, I'll send any employee that wants to, and people are going to go do it just to be mad at this thing. And I think that was their plan the whole time. They could get people that were never going to be on their side of the aisle to then just die off. If you just kill if people that are so adamantly for abortion all go get abortions, and then a significant amount of those people are also into same-sex stuff where you can never procreate naturally. I get it that there's donors and surrogates and all this others. Now, getting a surrogate an abortion, that's kind of a strange thing, but wouldn't put it past a lot of people for wanting to do that. But, maybe the whole insidious part is, in order to make it a pro-life country, they did this thing that made these other people ultimately go through with something that maybe they wouldn't have, or they would have, It made them want to do it even more despite this decision. And then in the end, what are you left with? Nobody that can hold up the, Catholics for abortion sign anymore, because there's none left. Eventually, everybody will just die out on this one side because there's no procreation. So I thought about that. Then I also thought, what if we just solve all this bullshit? Because I kind of get tired of listening to it myself, and I get it. I have no stake in it, I don't, on any of these subjects. I really don't. People are like, well, you got a daughter. Yeah, I do. I have a daughter, and I'll do the best I can. I will do the best I can with her. But what I would like her to do is, do her best to always be put herself in a situation where she's in control of that decision, and then let her know that there's consequences if you put yourself in a position when you're not in control. And I think that's what you have to raise people like that anyways. You have to raise people like that, even if every morning somebody knocks on your door and asks, did you have sex last night, whether it be consensual or not, I'm here to give you a morning after pill, or I'm here to give you an abortion. Maybe every day the mailman brings you plan B. You know what I mean? I don't care how easily accessible it is. The decision, the decision to put yourself in the right positions will always help that. Now, does that change the unknown and the stuff that happened? No, it doesn't. And I get it. And I can't, if I want to be okay with, if I wanted to be hardcore into my religion, and there are certain aspects that you do hold sacred if you have faith in certain things, and if that thing is that I don't think it's right. But to me, I always thought but my religion doesn't dictate what the rest of the country does. If they want to do that, then go do it. You know what I mean? But don't, I guess the only time I would get antsy is well, why doesn't your religion allow? It just doesn't. It just doesn't. But I don't think that should matter to the country. You know what I mean? This is not about, this country was founded with religious values, but not my religion. Just the fact that you can be freedom to have any of your religions. And if your religion is to always get an abortion, then that's yours. It has nothing to do with me. And then we'll find out in the end who was right and who was wrong. If anything happens, you know what I mean? It could just be that you're just reincarnated as a buffalo and you can go gore a bunch of people in Yellowstone. I don't know. And nobody does. But the fact that, so I get the outrage. I also don't like one thing I don't like is F you, Nike, F you, any of these these guys sit there and they use slave labor all over the world and make bazillions of dollars in profits, and then try to stand up for any movement. Just fuck off. You guys sell shoes that you get made by kids that you're lucky didn't get aborted, in countries where it really is illegal, and then the only future they have is to make your guys' shitty fucking shoes. So why don't you just stop? You don't get to jump out in front of this and say that you guys are the heroes because you're going to give an employee $4,000. What are you talking about? I mean, do it, but shut up. Do it and help them, but shut up. But yet they can't. And yet nobody wants to go into their shady background and all the different things that all these people do to all these underserved countries and all these underserved people in order to make their products. What are you talking about, Amazon? There was a bunch of companies they showed that are all doing these voucher programs and doing these travel programs for people that get in a situation where they want to go get this service done, right? Well, a lot of these companies, call them. Why don't you call them? Why don't you call Chase Bank and see who you talk to? You're not going to be talking to somebody from this country. You're going to be talking to somebody from a country that they're getting paid less than minimum wage, and they're going to be living in a Go-Gurt, trash bin. You know what I mean? You're talking to an Indian guy that's got 50,000 wrappers of Go-Gurt around him right now that's trying to help you with your Chase Bank password. But that company's going to give him $4,000? No, he's not going to get shit. And that's who he works for him. So I get mad about that because these guys they're as bad as anybody, and they act like they're on the right side of it. We're on the right side of history. Are you? You think by giving by virtue, it's just all bullshit signal. And go do it. I bet go do it. Go work for one of those companies and see how hard it is to get that voucher, to get that thing. You guys we've all done it. We've all worked for organizations where they offer something, but actually to get it followed through, there's always a catch. There's always a catch. So, and that sucks because it shouldn't matter. And it shouldn't matter to these idiots that I just read off from Street Fighter. And it really shouldn't matter to Christians and Catholics and people that their religion's against it. That's your religion. Then don't do it. You know, if you're against it, then don't do it. That's okay. But if somebody is for it, for whatever the reason, it could just be their own personal reason, could be their own, and you might say, no, that's a consequence and you should have to, whatever. That ain't your business. That's their business. And they got to deal with it on their end, you know? So making it harder on people, that shouldn't be the job of our government. And that seems like what they do on everything. I think one of the things that makes me the maddest is that we get this decision and this is the one that pisses us off. What makes me so damn mad is if you think this is bad, why don't we look into all the other shit they fuck up? Because all they do is make these kinds of decisions that hurt everybody in the middle and lower class. Because guess what? If you were rich, getting an abortion was never a problem anyways. Just like and it never will be. And if you were rich, you know, all of these rules cater to those who have it. I've been talking about this since the beginning. But if you think that this decision is bad, go through every decision they've made. They're all bad, and they're all to line their own damn pockets, okay? They're all bad. And they got nothing to do with you. They don't care if you fall victim to one of their ideas that was for the greater good, supposedly. Really? You just made it a hell of a lot harder for people. That's all you did. And not for your people, because it's never been hard for you. That's what makes me so mad, you know? I watch these guys at the local level and it moves up. You know, I know that these are the idiots that then move up and they take in a state position and they take a position for their state, representing their state in Congress, and then they get into the Senate and all it does is they just stay there. And they were making horrible decisions when they were running the tiny town of Alec, Oklahoma. They were making bad decisions then. You think that they got better? They were 58 when they were making those decisions. You know what happened? They kept moving up and making bad decisions. That's all that happened. They're idiots, guys. They're idiots. And they're putting these rules out for all of us to follow, and we don't like them. Half of the country doesn't like them, and the other half doesn't like them, regardless of decision. Yet we sit around and we don't get mad on all their other shit. We just get mad on this one, because this is one that always is a hot topic. Get them out of here. I'm with you. I think it's a horrible decision to cancel that law. But by the way, I thought it was a horrible decision to have these idiots in charge of anything in the first place. They don't know anything. How can you, dude? You were born in Buffalo in 1955, dude. You got married in 1996? Who the fuck does that? You were fucking 41 years old, dude. 41? You got married? Okay. You have 2 children. You have received associates in Harvard. Okay. So now we have nothing in common. You went to Harvard. All right? And then you went to Harvard Law School and then served as a law clerk for Judge Henry Finley of the United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit from 70. So the moment you got out of Harvard, you were already working for the Second Court of Appeals. All right. And then you worked as a law clerk for the Supreme Court of the United States in 1980. So you just worked your way up, Mr. John Roberts, into something where you never actually felt what real people feel. And then you're going to make a decision? What do you know? You don't know anything. I know what's law, and I know what's constitutional, and I know this, and I know that. Yeah, but you don't know how that relates to what we got going on right now. You don't. And you can't, because you haven't lived it. And it goes on and on and on throughout all of these people. And so I don't buy a lick of what they sell me. You know what I mean? If a congressman comes to my house, all I tell them now is, I'd tell you exactly what I think of you and your position, but I'm Christian. I can't talk politics with you because I'm Christian. That's what I think of all of you people. And that's why I hate it when it says, go vote for who? For who? And I don't think that there's the lesser, I don't buy into that crap. The only time I'd vote is, can we get all of these people out of office and actually elect people that have some experience, that have all experience in whatever. They need to have served this country. They need to have worked in the private sector for the majority of their life. They need to have been married and had kids. They need to have had to pay for their own health care. They need to have horrible tragedies happen in their life and then have to go against the government to get those figured out. They need to have all of this, to have the experience to get up there to make laws that will actually change for those of us who need those laws to change. But none of them do that. They're all stuck in the system from the time they're 20 to the time they're 70. They don't get out of this system. They're in a bubble, and then we get mad when they make bubble-like decisions that only affect those in the bubble. And it never affected them anyways. So, I'm mad at them for canceling Roe versus Wade. I'm mad at that. Even though I'm against it. I'm against abortion. You know what I mean? But I have so many advantages to be against it. One, I can't ever get pregnant. Not yet, at least. And two, what the hell does it have to do with me anyways? I'm married. I got a vasectomy because I didn't think that, and a lot of times maybe I wonder if that was the right decision, but, I got two beautiful kids that I try to do my best for, and I didn't know if I could do more, at that time. I was young, and I didn't know if we were to have a third or a fourth, if I'd be able to give them all that I wanted to give them, And so that was a decision that my wife and I made. And I don't know if it was right. A lot of times I regret that. And a lot of times for my own religion, I think that I screwed that up. But that'll have to be a conversation I have with Jizo when I get up there. And he'll probably say that was a mistake, and that's okay. And he'll probably say that's why he gave me that eye COVID that one time. And I know, dude. It happens. But I'm not mad at those people who are... I get mad at those people that go out and make a fool of themselves or whatever when... Who cares? Let these people are angry because they do live in a state where now it is illegal. Okay, I would be angry too. And we can all sit around like, well, just move to it. Yeah, you know how easy that is? It's not even easy when you plan on it, dude. So I get it. And I'm for, there should be freedom. You should have the freedom. If I'm going to build a taco truck and drive it to somebody's town and work my ass off to give the best kind of tacos I can give, that should be allowed. And if somebody's going to feel like they're not ready for something and it was a mistake, then that's something that they should have the freedom to do. And that should be their own personal choice, because it doesn't affect me. And if anything, if I was a real staunch asshole like these pro-lifers can be, if anything, all it does is ensure that there's not another opposition that's being born. Because a lot of times if these people are going to have a bunch of kids and they already believe that that's not something, abortion should be happening as an option or used as an option, now that's going to be another generation of people that are... So why? Why? Doesn't matter. Are you getting an abortion? No, then shut up. That's it. Will you ever get an abortion? No, I'm a man. Shut the fuck up. Okay, now what? Well, I wanted to say nobody gives a shit. Maybe you haven't noticed. They don't give a shit. Well, I believe that's between your religion and your faith has always been between you and your imaginary character that you believe in. Well, I'm supposed to spread... Dog, you ain't supposed to do any of this shit. All right? You ain't supposed to do any of this stuff. So, it can be that simple. I say that about a lot of things, though. It should be and could be that simple, and oftentimes it's not, and it just gets mixed up, and I think it's a distraction for everything. I think it's a distraction. And it makes you wonder what they're doing while they're distracting you with this stuff. And guess what? They're doing something. and it ain't to help us. And that's the part that we should be mad at. But anyways, part of me, when I see these rallies go on, whether it be about Roe versus Wade or whatever it is, I just let them, can we just give them all what guns do we want illegal? AR-15? Give it all to these ladies and let them shoot it out. And we'll just deal with it at the end. Because you're at a rally mad about somebody having the choice of their own body, or what? Shut up. Go to work. Get mad at the people that are doing it. Don't be mad at a woman who wants abortion. Don't be mad at a person who doesn't want abortion. Be mad at the people that should understand that these people are entrenched in this thing. Okay, this one has to do with religion. Okay, religion's between them and their religion. They're free to express that. But the country doesn't get to do that. So as the Supreme Court, you don't get to do that. But they did. So, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that they made a horrible decision, because I think they're all idiots. When we're sitting here and I got to go spend hundreds of dollars to fill up, and the minimum wage is still $7. What are we talking about here? They're idiots. They don't care. None of it affects them. So how we could be surprised that they made a horrible decision is beyond me. We shouldn't be surprised at all. We need to finally get something, a movement, a rally, or something about some other way to pick these candidates, because idiots picking other idiots is never going to be beneficial for us in the middle. So at some point we can figure it out. I don't know. I can't solve a lot of issues. I won't be able to. What I will always probably go back on is, or back to, should be a common theme with me is, I don't appreciate a bunch of people that don't have to play by the rules getting to dictate the rules. Okay? That's always been wrong. That's a hypocrite's way of life, and that's what all these people get to do. And that's always been an issue. And then the other thing is, people should be free to make the decisions that they want to make and deal with those decisions. And if that's what they want to do, it shouldn't be illegal by the government or the state or whatever it is. So, if it should be a punishment, your consequence should be based on your actions, not the potential for your actions. If I go out and serve food and everybody in the town gets sick, I have to deal with that. That's my problem. But it's not my problem if you're already on my ass when I pulled into your town about getting money from me, which has nothing to do with, what does that have to do with anything? Why are you taking money from me? I drove here. I already paid your money. How much gas I filled up at your gas station? That's state taxes and city taxes and county taxes and road taxes and taxes and taxes and taxes and taxes and what? And now you want me to give you more and then park on somewhere private? Okay. No, fuck off. See you later. And then they'll say, well, for safety. Is it? If I'm a felon or if I'm doing something wrong and I'm not allowed to be in your town, is that it? You're going to do a background check? Okay, do a background check. Now I'm clean. I still have to pay you? For what? And I don't want to get into that. I just did. And I'm sorry. I just hope people understand that it's okay to have your convictions in religion, and to have your, whatever you build your families on, whatever you build your own life on, whatever foundation you're building your stuff on, that's fine. But you have to understand that in this country, that's what it's supposed to be. Mind your own. If somebody asks you what you believe, you can tell them. But that person shouldn't be mad. Don't sit there and try to manipulate each other and persuade each other to go to the other side. Be okay with the fact that this person's opposite. Yeah, they don't believe in anything I believe in. All right. There you go, brother. See you later. And move on. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be between you and whatever happens after this stuff. So, It'd be a hell of a lot nicer if we didn't have to sit around and yell at each other over stuff that shouldn't be yelled at. That's a personal thing, but that's the way it goes when you have idiots that run everything. So, I didn't really get to anything I was going to talk about today, but that's okay. Got the show going. I got to pack this stuff up. I'll be in Kansas City next time you see me, probably. So we'll see how it goes up there. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. If you have any comments, constructive criticisms, if you want to leave a comment on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, if you want to share the show, if you agree with what I'm saying, please, leave a comment. I'll try to get to them. We're going to try to get it where every day of the week, a certain day of the week, I should say, we'll go through some comments on YouTube, and we'll go through some comments on wherever you guys leave them, Patreon, Podbean, whatever, and we'll go through some comments. If you want to leave me a message, just hit me up on one of the social medias, and I'll play it or read it however you send it. So, and maybe a Thursday will be, other shows will call them the mailbag and stuff like that, but I haven't got there yet, so we'll get there together. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. This is Conradio. I'm Conrad, and I'll be back on Monday at 10 a.m. So have an okay day, and don't let your meat loaf.